Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. In this video we are going to learn about Python packages. We will explore what are Python packages, benefits of using packages, structure of a package, importing a package, creating your own package. In Python, packages are a fundamental way to organize your code into reusable, modular components. They act like folders that group related Python modules that work together to provide specific functionality. Benefits of using packages. Organization. Packages keep your codebase clean and well-structured, especially for larger projects. You can avoid having everything in a single file, making code easier to manage and maintain. Reusability. Once you create a package, you can import and use its functionality in different Python projects. This saves you time and effort from rewriting common code. Sharing. You can share packages with others, or publish them on the Python package index, PyPI, for them to easily integrate into their projects. Structure of a package. Directory. A package is typically represented by a directory containing Python modules, .py files. Init.py file. This is an optional file, though highly recommended, that can be empty or contain initialization code for the package. Its presence tells Python that the directory is a package. Subpackages. You can create subpackages within a package by adding additional directories with their own modules and init.py files. This allows for hierarchical organization of complex functionality. Importing packages. To use modules from a package in your Python scripts, you import them using .notation. For example, we want to import our module name functions. Py from our package name myPackage, we can do like this. You can also create your own reusable packages to organize your code. This involves structuring your code into directories and modules as described earlier. You can then use tools like setup tools to create distributable packages for sharing or publishing on PyPI. PyPI, short for Python Package Index, is the official third-party package repository for the Python programming language. It is a central repository that hosts and distributes software packages for Python developers to use. Developers can upload Python packages to PyPI where they can be easily accessed by others. Let's create our own package with the name of calculations. On the left side, you will see all the file in your working directory. Here you will find Add New Folder button. Click on it to create a new folder with the name of calculations. This is basically our package name. Now we will add init.py file, so beside the Add New Folder icon, you will find Add New File icon. Click on it and type the name __init___.py. This file tells the Python to consider it as a package. This file can be left empty, but we generally place the initialization code for that package in this file. Now, we will add our four modules addition, subtraction, multiply and divide, so that we can keep the related functions and classes inside them. We can use these functions and classes later in our project. Our package with the name of calculations has been created with four modules and one init.py file. After creating four module files, it's time to add function inside each module. Let's define our first function add. This function will take two values x and y, and return the total after adding both values. The second function we are going to define is subtract, which will take two values and return the result after subtracting y from x. The third function is called divide. It takes two values as input, x and y. We will add an if condition to handle division by 0. If the user enters 0 for the first value, x, the function will return the error message, division by 0 error. Otherwise, the function will return the result of dividing x by y. Please note that indentation is a very important concept of Python, because without properly indenting the Python code, you will end up seeing indentation error and the code will not get compiled. And our last function is multiply, which will take two values and return the total after multiplying x with y. Our package is ready to use. Now we can import this package in our project. We can import the package by using import command. I am going to import all the module like addition, subtraction, divide and multiply like this. Our modules are imported in our project. Now we can use all the functions defined inside the modules can be used anywhere in this file. In order to use any function, we need to add module name.function name to use the function defined under this module. For example, we want to sum two values 10 and 20, we can use add function inside the addition module like this. Now, we want to multiply two values. We can call multiply function inside the multiply module to achieve the desired results. Same like this method, we can use divide function to divide two values. First I will check if I divide 0 value with any other value, then what will happen. See, it's showing divide by 0 error. Now I am going to enter any other value to check whether our function is working correctly. And it's working fine. Perfect. This is how we can import and use functions from a module and use them in our project. We can also import our functions defined in any module directly by using a dot notation. We can import like this. From package name.module name import function name. In our case, we want to import add function from addition module, we can import like this. Now, no need to add module name before calling this function, because we have imported this specific function in our project. We need to import each function one by one, in order to use them in project. Python packages are essential for building maintainable, reusable, and well-structured Python projects. They leverage the power of modularity and code organization, making Python a versatile and efficient language for various development tasks. Here are the top 10 Python packages to learn in order to become a proficient Python programmer. 1. Pandas. Pandas stand for Python Data Analysis Library. If you're a person who is into data science, machine learning, and data analysis, you must use this package as it is used extensively in data manipulation and analysis. It has an extensive set of features that handle large data efficiently. It is well suited for different kinds of data, be it tabular, SQL or Excel, JSON, and allows importing data. This is one of the amazing Python packages to learn in 2024. 2. NumPy. NumPy is the fundamental package for scientific computing and array processing. Libraries like TensorFlow use NumPy at the backend for manipulating tensors. It handles linear algebra, random numbers, and Fourier transforms very efficiently. It also serves as a multidimensional container for any generic data that is in any data type. 3. TensorFlow. TensorFlow is also called a Google product as it is developed by Google. It provides a collection of workflows to develop and train models using Python, and to easily deploy in the cloud, on-prem, in the browser, or on-device, no matter what language you use. There are 3 steps to act: load and preprocesses data, build, train and reuse models, and deployment. It is highly scalable, compatible, and also helps in building models easily. 4. Pywin32. Pywin32 is a must-have package, particularly for Windows Python programming. It provides access to many of the native Windows API functions, allowing you to do things like interact with the Windows registry, use the Windows clipboard, and much more. It enables you to access the Win32 Application Programming Interface (API) on Python. It works only on Windows systems having 32-bit processors. 5. PyTest. This package has a variety of modules used for testing new code, which includes small unit tests and complex functional tests for applications. It helps in writing simple and scalable test cases for APIs, databases, and UIs. PyTest is a great tool for testing your programs. 6. Requests. It allows you to exchange requests on the web in a more responsive and user-friendly manner using HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP works as a request response between the client and the server. The intuitive JSON method offered by this package helps you avoid manually adding query strings to URLs. 7. Seaborn. With just a few lines of code, you can draw attractive statistical graphics using the Seaborn package. You can easily create complex heat maps, violin plots, joint plots, multi-plot grids, and many other types of plots with this library. It provides beautiful default styles and color palettes to make statistical plots more attractive. It is built on the top of the Matplotlib library and is closely integrated into the data structures from Pandas. 8. MoviePy. This package provides a range of functionality for common tasks associated with importing, modifying, and exporting video files. It helps in inserting titles into videos or rotating videos to 90 degrees. This package aims to make visualization the central part of exploring and understanding data. 9. Pendulum. When you're dealing with date and time and don't want a complex code, you can use this package. It manages time zones automatically and is designed to be a drop-in replacement for date time. It is a cleaner and easier way to use API. It simplifies the issue of complex date manipulations involving time zones that are not handled correctly in native datetime instances. 10. Matplotlib. Matplotlib is the foundation of every other visualization library. This can be used to create basic graphs like line plots, histograms, scatter plots, bar charts, and pie charts. Creating animated and interactive visualizations can be made easy using this library. It offers a great deal of flexibility in formatting and styling plots. It allows you to freely choose how to display labels, grids, and legends. This code creates a simple calculator using Python's tkinter library. Here's a breakdown of the code. Importing libraries. This line imports everything from the tkinter library, which is used to create graphical user interfaces, GUI, in Python. This line creates the main window of the calculator application. This sets the size of the window to 312 pixels wide and 324 pixels high. This line prevents the user from resizing the window. This sets the title of the window to calculator. This function is called whenever a button is clicked. It takes the button's text as input, represented by the item parameter. It retrieves the current expression from the global variable expression. It concatenates the button's text to the expression string. It updates the text displayed in the input field using the input_text set, expression, line. This function is called when the clear button is clicked. It simply sets the global variable expression to an empty string and clears the input field. This function is called when the equals button is clicked. It evaluates the expression stored in the expression variable using the eval function. The eval function treats the string as a Python expression and calculates the result. It updates the input field with the calculated result and clears the expression variable. This global variable is used to store the current expression entered by the user. This variable is an instance of the stringvar class from tkinter. It's used to store and display the text in the input field. The code creates two frames. This frame holds the input field where the user enters the expression. This frame holds all the calculator buttons. Buttons are created for numbers, 0 to 9, operators, plus, dash, asterisk, /, decimal point, clear, and equals symbol. Each button is linked to a function using the command attribute. When a button is clicked, the corresponding function is executed. Main loop. This line starts the main event loop of the tkinter application. It waits for user interactions like button clicks and updates the GUI accordingly. Let's run this code and try our calculator. Here is our calculator. Let's try it by performing some calculations. First, try adding two values. Perfect. Let's divide two values. Working fine. Let's multiply two values. Let's try subtract. Our calculator app is working fine. So guys, here is how we can create a simple calculator by using the tkinter module. Let's move to the next exercise. Hello everyone, and welcome to my new video. Today, we're diving deeper into your Python journey by exploring web development with Django. Get ready to build a real-world website from scratch, step by step. In this comprehensive guide, we'll create a stunning website using the powerful combination of HTML, CSS, and Django. We'll craft a captivating navigation bar, a striking hero image, and engaging sections featuring text and images. You'll learn how to seamlessly embed a YouTube video for enhanced visual appeal, along with creating informative sections to showcase your content. We'll also master the art of responsive design, ensuring your website looks flawless on any screen size, from tiny smartphones to expansive desktops. By utilizing cutting-edge techniques, we'll create a seamless user experience that adapts to every device. We'll also construct essential pages like About Us, Contact Us, and services to provide valuable information about your business or project. To top it off, we'll build a user-friendly contact form, making it easy for visitors to reach out with inquiries or feedback. Get ready to unlock the full potential of Python, Django, HTML, and CSS as we embark on this exciting web development adventure together. In this tutorial, we will learn how to install Python on Windows 10 using the Python installer for Windows. Prerequisites. You successfully installed Python and Visual Studio Code. Now, let's jump into creating our first Django project. Open Visual Studio Code. On the left side, you'll find the Explorer window, where you can manage your project files and folders. Before we begin, we need to choose a dedicated folder to store our project files. Click the Open Folder button and select a location for your project. For this example, I'll create a folder named Django_website to store my project files. Now, let's install the Django framework. Open the terminal by going to View a Terminal. In the terminal window, type the command pip install Django and press Enter. Django will be installed on your system. Note, if this is your first time installing Django, it might take a few moments depending on your internet speed. In my case, Django is already installed, so you'll see the installation path instead. Now that Django is installed, let's create our project. In the terminal window, type the following command. Django admin start project my project name. Replace my project name with your desired project name. For example, I'll use Django Web for this project. Press Enter. Django will create a new project directory with that name in your chosen working directory. In the Visual Studio Code Explorer, you'll see your new project folder, Django Web in this case. Inside this folder, you'll find a file named manage.py. Manage.py is a special command line utility for your Django project. It acts like a central hub for various tasks you can perform on your project, such as creating new projects and apps, running the development server to test your application locally, managing your database, migrations, applying changes, running automated tests, executing custom project-specific commands. We'll use manage.py throughout the development process to interact with and manage our Django project. Now that we have our project set up, let's create our first app. An app in Django represents a specific functionality within your project. Think of it as a building block. You can have separate apps for things like a blog, a forum, or a user management system. A Django project can contain multiple apps to organize your website's features effectively. To create a new app, make sure you're in your project directory. You can use the cd command in the terminal to navigate there. For example, cd Django Web # replace Django Web with your project name. Once you're in the project directory, use the following command to create a new app. Django admin start app name. Replace app name with a descriptive name that reflects the app's purpose. For instance, if the app handles user login and registration, a good name might be users or authentication. In this example, I'll create an app named MyWeb. Once you press Enter, Django will create a new directory for your app within the project folder. Let's look at the functions of these essential files in a Django project directory. init.py. This is an empty file which is typically used in Django apps to treat the directory as a Python package and allow importing models, views, and other components from the app. asg.py. Defines an ASGI, asynchronous server gateway interface, application entry point for running Django applications in an ASGI-compatible web server like Daphne. Settings.py. The heart of your Django project configuration. It holds crucial settings that govern various aspects of your application, such as database connections, secret keys, installed apps, template paths, static and media file settings, authentication mechanisms, email configuration, caching settings, debug mode. Without a properly configured settings, your Django project won't function correctly. urls.py. Defines the URL routing for your Django application. It maps incoming URLs to corresponding views, functions that handle user requests, within your app or project. Whiskey.py. Defines a WSGA, web server gateway interface, application entry point for running Django applications in a traditional WSGI-compliant web server like Apache or Nginx. This is the standard way to deploy Django applications on most web servers. Now, let's break down the common files you'll find in a Django app. init.py. This is an empty file which is typically used in Django apps to treat the directory as a Python package and allow importing models, views, and other components from the app. admin.py. Defines how your app's models will be displayed and managed within the Django admin interface. This allows you to create, edit, and delete data records through the admin panel. apps.py. Provides a central location to define application configuration for your Django app. While not strictly mandatory, it offers a convenient way to customize certain app-related attributes. models.py. Defines the data models for your app using Django's model classes. These models represent the data structures that your application will store and manipulate. You might define models for users, products, blog posts, or any other data relevant to your app's functionality. tests.py. Contains unit tests to ensure the functionality of your app's code, models, views, etc. Writing tests helps prevent regressions and maintain code quality. views.py. Contains Python functions that handle user requests, HTTP methods like GET and POST. These functions are responsible for processing the request data, interacting with models to retrieve or update data, and generating the appropriate response, e.g., an HTML template, a JSON object, etc. You might define views for displaying a list of products, creating a new user account, or updating a blog post. Let's see our project in action. We can use a built-in development server to test our Django application locally before deploying it live. In the terminal window, type the following command. Python manage py run server. This command starts the development server. You'll see a message with a local URL, usually http://127.0.0.1:8000/, where you can access your project. Tip, press Ctrl or Command on macOS, and click the URL in the terminal to open it directly in your web browser. If everything is set up correctly, you should see a congratulations message in your browser. This confirms that Django is running and your project is accessible. The development server is a great tool for local testing and development. You can make changes to your code, save them, and refresh the browser to see the updates instantly. Now, let's create the foundation for your website's content, templates. Templates in Django are HTML files with a special twist. They can combine standard HTML with Django template tags to dynamically generate content based on data from your application. This allows you to create reusable layouts and elements while keeping your HTML clean and organized. Create a folder named Templates inside your project directory. This is where you'll store your Django template files. Within the Templates folder, create a new HTML file named index.html. This will be your website's homepage for now. If you're comfortable with HTML, you can write a basic message to display on the screen. I've included some sample code in the video description that you can use as a starting point. Place this code in your index.html file. Before we proceed, there's one more important step: registering your app in the settings.py file. The settings.py file is the central configuration file for your Django project. It contains various settings that define how your application behaves. One crucial setting is installed_apps. This tells Django which apps are part of your project. Django comes with a collection of built-in apps like user authentication, an admin panel, and more, which are already included by default in a new project. You'll likely create custom Django applications for your specific project features and functionalities. These must be registered in installed apps to be recognized by Django. I have created my app with the name of my web, so I will register this app in the installed app settings. After registering the app, the second thing we need to do is URL mapping. The project-level URLs.py acts as the central hub for handling all incoming URLs for your Django application. It provides a single place to define how URLs are routed to the appropriate handler functions, views, in your project. First we need to call the include method from Django.url. Now we will add our appname.urls file in order to handle the app URL requests. In my case, my app name is my web. So I will include myweb.urls in URL patterns setting. But we don't have any urls.py file in our app. So we need to create one in order to register app-level URL patterns. You can create a new file or you can copy and paste the project url.py file. We don't need this admin module, so I am going to delete this. We need to import all the functions and classes defined in the views.py file within the current directory, so we can import like this. From .import view. Before adding a URL pattern, we need to define a function in our views.py file, which will render and return the HTML file. Before adding a URL pattern, we need to define a function in our views.py file, which will render and return the HTML file. We will define a function with the name of home and it will take request as argument. This function will return the home.html file after rendering. Now we need to call this function in urls.py file to display the content of the index.html on the front end. We also need to remove the admin path from URL patterns as we don't need this anymore. We can call any function from views.py file by using views.functionName. We have created a function with the name of home, so we can call this function using views.home. And give this URL pattern a unique name of your choice. Let's run the development server and see what happens. Oops, it's showing an error message, template not found at home.html. It means there is no template in home.html file. Let's find out where is the issue. And I have caught the issue. We don't have any file with the name of home.html. Instead, we have a HTML file with the name of index.html. Let's correct the file name. Save the changes and run again. Here we go, our simple website is working fine. And showing the content of index.html file. So friends, this is how we can create a simple app in Django. This app can render HTML file. I am going to repeat all the steps once again, so you can understand all the steps in an easy way. First, register your app in settings.py installed app settings. Second, register your app.urls in URL pattern. In the app views file, create a function which render and display your HTML file content. And in the app urls.py file, call the function from views.py file in order to display the content of HTML file to the user. Let's move forward and add more pages in our template directory like About Us, Contact Us, and Services. So stay tuned. So friends, we have created a simple home page. Now it's time to add the new pages in our website. I have added 3 new pages with the name of About Us, Contact Us, and Services. To navigate between the pages, I have created the navigation menu in every page. In the view.py file, I have a defined separate function to render the specific page. For example, About function will render the aboutus.html page and return to the front end. And contact function will render and return the contactus.html page, and same like services page does. After creating all the functions in views.py file, we need to add the path in URL patterns in order to call the specific function to load the related page. Let's run this project. We have a navigation menu on top. You can load any page by clicking on the menu item associated with this page. So friends, this is how we can create a simple website using Django framework. In the next video, we'll dive into advanced Django features to build even more powerful web pages. Get ready to unleash the full potential of Django. So far, we've built a basic website with 4 pages: Home, About Us, Services, and Contact Us. Now, let's create something more advanced. We'll design a modern, responsive website with a clear navigation bar, a striking full-screen hero image, and visually appealing sections featuring text, images, and even videos. Before we get started, let's look at the basic structure of our website. We have created the project, named Django Web. This contains essential files like settings.py and urls.py. The settings.py file configures your project, defining database connections, installed apps, and more. The urls.py file acts as a roadmap, matching incoming web addresses to specific parts of your website. Within the project, we have created an app called My Web. This is where the core logic resides. It contains files to handle user requests and process data. Finally, we have the templates directory. This holds HTML files, which are the building blocks of web pages. HTML, or hypertext markup language, uses tags to structure content, like headings, paragraphs, and images. These files determine the layout and appearance of your website. Our website structure involves several key HTML files. The index.html file serves as the home page. This is the initial page visitors see when accessing your website. For navigation, we have a navbar.html file containing the navigation menu and a footer.html file for the website footer. To provide additional information, we've created pages like aboutus.html and services.html. And included a contact form for user interaction. These files, combined with the Django project structure and other components, form the foundation of our web application. Above the templates directory, we have a static directory, which contains images as well as CSS and JavaScript file. We can use these images anywhere as our website. If you are wondering how to place images in this static directory, then here is the way. Go to your project directory in your computer local hard drive. In my case, my project directory is in D drive. Django website folder. Inside this folder, we have our project folder with the name of Django Web. And inside this project folder, we have an app with the name of My Web. When you open this folder, you will find static directory here. This folder contains JPG, PNG and CSS files. You can copy and paste the images from your computer to this folder to use it in your project. In addition to images, we have a style.css file within the static directory. This file contains CSS attributes such as color, font style, font size, and other styles to enhance our website's appearance. You can create new CSS files by clicking that new file icon and naming them with a CSS extension. To apply these styles to an HTML file, use the link tag. For instance, in index.html, you would link style.css like this. The %static part indicates the directory where style.css is located. Once linked, you can utilize various styling options within your HTML file. So friends, we've covered the fundamental structure of our Django website. Let's dive deeper into creating each section and applying CSS styles to bring our design to life. The first thing we have on our website is a navigation bar. A navigation bar is essentially a menu that sits at the top of a web page, providing users with links to different sections or pages of your website. It's like a roadmap for your visitors, guiding them through your content. A well-designed navigation bar is crucial for user experience as it helps users find what they're looking for quickly and easily. For example, if visitor want to visit the About Us page, he can navigate to the About Us page by simply clicking on the About Us navigation link. Every navigation item representing a page or a section of a website. Let's dive into the code and see how to create a navigation bar. First, we've created a page named nav bar. This page contains the code for our navigation bar. We'll link this page to other website pages to display the navigation bar at the top. This tag defines a navigation section in our HTML document. We've applied a class named navbar to this section. We'll use this class to style the navigation bar with CSS. This unordered list creates a horizontal menu structure for our navigation items. Each list item represents a navigation item. This part dynamically generates the URL to the home page using Django's URL patterns. We covered this in our previous video about creating URL patterns for your website. The next link takes the user to the About Us page. You can find the About Us page in our templates directory. When a user clicks this link, they'll be redirected to the About Us page. Similarly, we have links for Services and Contact Us pages, both located in the templates directory. In style.css file, we have assigned some attributes to the class navbar. First, we have background color property. This property set background color for the navigation bar. You can change this to any color you prefer. Currently, we have green color applied to the navigation bar. Let's change the color to blue. You can see our background color has been changed. After the navbar class, we have navlist class. First, we have margin property. The margin property in CSS defines the space around an element. It controls the amount of empty space between the element's border and the surrounding elements or the browser window. Let's set the value to 5 to change the margins. You will notice that the margins around the nav list has been increased. Next, we have padding property. Padding is the space between the content of an element and its border. It's like creating a cushion around the content within an element. We can also change the value of the padding property as per our needs. I have set the value to 5. You can notice, the space between the link text and container has been changed. I am going to set the margin and padding value to 1. Next we have Flex property. Flexbox is a CSS layout model that simplifies the arrangement of items within a container. It provides a flexible and efficient way to create responsive designs that adapt to different screen sizes. After the NAVList class, we have a NAV item class. In this class, we have display inline block property. This is a CSS property that allows an element to behave like both an inline and a block level element. Elements with display inline block appear on the same line as other inline elements. Next, we have margin right property. This property is used to set the margin between the navigation items. Let's increase the margin right value to 3em. And you can notice that the space between the navigation items has been increased. Let's return the default value to 1em. After the NAV item class, we have NAV link class. In this class we have color property, which is used to change the color of the link text. You can change this color anytime, but make sure to choose the color relevant to your theme color and attract the user. Next, we have font weight property, which is used to make the fonts bold. Let's remove this bold property. And you will notice that the font weight returned to the normal weight. This property used to make the text to stand out from the surrounding content. After the navigation bar, we have the index.html file, which serves as our homepage. This is the initial page displayed when a user visits our website. Let's explore how to add content on this homepage. Within the index.html file, we begin by loading the static directory using Django's template tag. This enables us to incorporate files like images and CSS into our website. In the head section, we link the style.css file, located in the static directory, to style our page. Additionally, we include a link to an online version of Bootstrap for responsive design and pre-built components. Bootstrap is a free and open-source CSS framework designed to help developers build responsive, mobile-first web applications. It provides a collection of pre-built HTML, CSS, and JavaScript components for typography, forms, buttons, navigation, and other interface elements. After the head section, we encounter the title tags. The title is the name of the current web page, displayed at the top of the browser window. As you navigate through different pages on your website, the title will dynamically update to reflect the content of the active page. Following the title, we find the body section. This is where the visual components of your website are defined. Everything you see on the page, excluding the browser's interface, is contained within the body. Within the body tag, we've included our previously created navigation bar file. This integration is achieved using Django's template tag, allowing for efficient reuse of the navigation bar across multiple pages. As a result, the navigation bar is consistently displayed at the top of your website. Below the navigation bar, there is a large image covering the entire screen, often called a hero image. In modern websites, the hero section is a powerful tool for providing initial website information. Let's explore how to edit the size or replace this hero image. On our homepage, under the navigation bar tag, we have code to insert a hero image. The image source utilizes the %static tag, referencing our static directory where the image is stored. Following the directory name is the image name, in this case, hero.jpg. After the image name is the alter text, displayed if the image fails to load from the static folder. Next, we specify the image's width and height. These dimensions can be adjusted to suit your needs. Let's change the image dimensions to view the effect. I have changes the image dimensions 1020 pixels. Let's see the result. You can adjust the image size as per your needs. Image dimensions are measured in pixels. The downside of setting the image dimensions in pixels is that the image will not change its size as per screen size. Let's change the size of the window so that you have better idea about why responsive image is important. When changing the window size, the image size is not changing itself. This is called an unresponsive website. To create a responsive image, let's download a new image from pexels.com, offering royalty-free, high-resolution options. Once downloaded, locate the image in your Downloads folder, then move it to your project's static directory. My project directory is in the D drive, Django website folder. In Django website, I have Django web project, and my app name is my web. So I will place this image in my web's static folder. Rename it to hero2.jpg for clarity. In the image source, change the image name from hero.jpg to hero2.jpg. To test responsiveness, change the image's width and height from pixels to percentages. This allows the image to adjust its size according to the screen dimensions. After changing the width and height from pixels to percentage, refresh the page. And change the window size to see if the image is changing its size as per screen size. You will notice that the hero image is now changing its size as per screen size. This is called a responsive image. Responsive design is a fundamental principle in modern web development. It ensures that websites adapt seamlessly to different screen sizes and devices, providing an optimal user experience. We can further increase the height to fully cover the screen. Now let's check again by changing the screen size. Awesome, our hero image is converted into a responsive image, and automatically changing its size as per the screen size. What is the best aspect ratio for a hero image? Let's ask from the Google. And Google's saying, the ideal size for a full-screen hero image is 1200 pixels wide with a 16:9 aspect ratio. But the question is, how can we calculate the aspect ratio? We will ask the Google to show the aspect ratio calculator, where we can calculate the aspect ratio of an image. In the aspect ratio calculator, we need to select the aspect ratio we want to know. In our case, we need aspect ratio of 16:9. Currently we have an image with the width of 5245 pixels. We need to know what will be the height of this image. We need to enter the width of the image and it will show the height of the image needed in order to achieve 16:9 ratio. The calculator is showing 2950 pixels height to make this image ideal for hero image. So, we need to edit this image to reduce its height. Right-click on the image and open with any photo editor you have in your computer. Click on the Edit Image button to edit this image. Reduce the height of the image by cropping. When the image height meets the required width, you will see a 16:9 ratio pop up on top. Now save the image to apply the changes. Make sure you have correct image name mentioned in source and width and height of the image must be 100%. Now refresh the browser to view if the image fits as per screen size. Currently, the image is not 100% covering the screen area. So, we need to wrap a container element around the hero image to solve this issue. What is a div element? A div element is a generic container used to group related content within an HTML document. It's like a box that holds other elements. A div element commonly used to create sections, columns, and other layout structures. Its appearance and behavior are primarily controlled using CSS. We have created a div element and assigned a class with the name of hero container to this. Inside this div element, we have placed our hero image, which is placed in static directory, and assigned a class with the name of hero image to this image. In style.css file, we have assigned some attributes to the both classes. First, we have assigned the relative position to the div element. Relative positioning in CSS allows you to adjust an element's position relative to its normal position on the page. It means the element still occupies its original space in the document flow, but you can offset it using the top, right, bottom, and left properties. And assign the 100% width to this container so that it covers the 100% of the screen size. Next, we have assigned the 100 VH height to this container. 100 VH in CSS stands for 100 viewport height. It means that an element with a height of 100 VH will occupy the entire height of the viewport, regardless of the content within the page. Next, we have given overflow to hidden. Overflow, hidden is a CSS property that determines how content is displayed when it exceeds the boundaries of its container. When you set overflow, hidden, on an element, it means any content that overflows the element's box is clipped and hidden. This means it won't be visible, even if it exists within the HTML structure. No scroll bars will appear, even if the content is larger than the container. Let's break down the hero image CSS class. Sets the width and height of the image to 100% of its parent container. This ensures the image stretches horizontally and vertically to fill the available space. Object fit, cover. This is the crucial property for image scaling. It tells the browser to scale the image to completely fill the container while maintaining its aspect ratio. If the image's aspect ratio doesn't match the container's, the image will be cropped to fit. Let's run the development server to see whether our issue is resolved or not. Our hero image is covering the entire area of the screen. Let's check the responsiveness. Our hero image is changing its size according to the size of the screen. So friends, our hero image is now converted into a responsive image and changing its size as per the window size, but there is another issue with our website. Our navigation menu items are not changing its size if we change the window size. See, we have reduced the window size to the smallest level, but the font size of navigation link items are the same. To solve this issue, we need to reduce the size of navigation link items when the window size changed into smaller size. First, we need to fix our navigation link item font size. In the navigation link CSS settings, we need to fix the font size to 1em. And we need to add a media query to check if the device max width is 768 pixels. If yes, then navigation link font size reduced to 0.8em. This media query will work when the device size will be less than 768 pixels. Let's check the media query result by changing the size of the browser window. You will notice a small change in font size when the window size is smaller to 760 pixels. And when the windows return to its actual size, the font size back to its normal size. Let's change the max width to 640 pixels. Now when the size of the windows gets smaller to 640 pixels, then the font size will be reduced to 0.6em. Refresh the browser to apply the changes, and reduce the window size to check the media query magic. You will notice a noticeable change in the font size when the window size gets smaller. You can change the different screen sizes as well as font sizes as per your need. The end result should be a responsive website, which will adjust its size as per screen size. Under the hero image, we have another section containing image on the left and text on the right. Under this section, we have same like this another section with image on right and text on the left. Let's dive into the code and see how these sections are created. Under the hero section, we have placed a div element. In this div element, we will place our images and text. To give the space between elements, we have used inline CSS style margin top with the value of 50 px. You will notice some space between the hero image and the section. This is because we have used the margin top style. Let's increase this space from 50 to 100 pixels. Refresh the browser to apply the effect. You will notice that the space between the hero image and the section has been increased. Under this div, we have placed another div element, and assigned a class with the name of container to this div element. We have used background color and color attributes to change the background color and text color of this element. Under this div, we have created another div section to place the image. A class with the name of image column has been assigned to this section. This class will be used to control the format like width, height and color of this section. In this image column section, we have placed an image with the name of running.jpg. This image is placed in the static folder, and given an alter text with the name of homepage image to this image. Under this image column section, we have another section with the class name text column. In this element, we have placed a heading by using h1 element. This element is used to write the heading text. Under the heading, we have used p element to place a paragraph text, and given the top margin to 50 px to make space between the heading and the paragraph. We have used another HTML element br/ to break the line. Now let's look at the classes we have used in this section, like container, image column and text column. In style.css file, let's break down all these classes. First we have container class. In this class, we have used display flex attribute to arrange the elements horizontally. Next attribute is flex wrap attribute, which will allow column to wrap in small screens. We have set the width of this container to 100%. And margin 0 auto to center the container horizontally. Next we have image column and text column classes. We have used flex attribute and assigned the value to 1 to make both columns equally sized. And added padding to 1 rem to add some padding. Under the image and text column classes, we have given some attributes to the image in image column class. We have set the max width of this image to 100% to scale the image within the column, and height set to auto to maintain the aspect ratio. Under this section, we have another same type of section with an image on the right and text on the left. Same like the previous section, we have created a div element with margin top of 50 pixels, and another div element with the container class. In this container we have created two div elements, text column and image column, in which we have placed the text and image respectively. These type of sections are used to provide more detailed information about the website. We can also change the background or text color of these sections. For example, we want to change the background color of our first section. We can choose any color from the list. I have choose the blue color. Save the file and refresh the browser to apply the changes. Our background color has been changed. Now let's change the background color of the second section. I will choose light green color, and for the text, I will choose dark blue color. So friends, this is how you can create sections containing images and text regarding your website, services, or any other information. So friends, this is how we can create sections with image and text in a single section. Now, let's check whether our section is responsive or not. You can notice when we resize the window our image changes its size, but our text doesn't change its size. So it means our sections are not responsive. Let's see how we can make both sections responsive. In our index.html file, we have a container class. In this class we have placed an image and a heading text beside the image. First, we'll assign a class named heading1 to the heading of the first section. Then, we'll apply the same class to the second section heading so we can apply the same attributes to both headings. In our style.css file, we'll assign some attributes to the heading1 class. First, we'll set a font size for both headings. Let's start with 2em and see how it looks. It's a bit small. So let's increase it to 3em. That's too big. So we'll compromise with 2.5em. Now this size is looking good. After fixing the heading size, we are going to add a media query. In which we have reduced the font size of heading 1 class to 1.5 pixels. And this query will work when the screen size equals to or less than 640 pixels. Let's resize the window to see if our heading text changes size when the screen is smaller than 640 pixels. You'll notice that both heading font sizes have changed. This happens because we applied the same class to both headings. Any changes made to that class affect all elements using it. When you increase the window size, the heading will return to its original size. However, the paragraph text under the heading remains unchanged. So, we need to apply the same process to the paragraph text as well. We need to apply a class named para1 to both section paragraphs. This will allow us to apply the same attributes to both paragraphs. In the style.css file, let's set an initial font size for both paragraphs, so we can adjust it later. I've set the initial paragraph size to 1.5em. It looks a bit large. So I'll reduce it to 1.2em. Let's add this class para1 to the existing media query. And we have reduced the size of the para1 class to 0.8em. This change will take effect when the screen size is less than 640 pixels. Let's resize the window. You'll notice the paragraph text size decreases as we reduce the window size to a certain point. But there is another issue with our section content. The size of the image is much smaller as compared to the text. So we need to fix this issue. To fix this issue, we need to vertically align the content of this section instead of horizontally aligning it. In our style.css file, we have a container class applied to both sections. In this class, we have set the display property to flex, which means it will arrange all the items in this class horizontally. To vertically align the content, when the screen size drops to 640 pixels, we need to change the flex direction attribute to column. And content of that class will be aligned vertically at a specific screen size. Let's resize the window. As we reduce the screen size, you'll notice that the content of both sections stacks vertically once the screen reaches a specific width. When the screen size is slightly larger than 640 pixels, the image and text alignment isn't optimal. To fix this, I'll create another media query. This media query will work when the screen size will be equals to or less than 800 pixels. And this query will align the container class content from horizontal to vertical position. Let's refresh the page and reduce the window size to view the effects. You can see the items in both sections have been vertically aligned when the screen size reaches 800 pixels. There are two media queries are working. One will be activated when our screen size will be 800 pixels. This query will arrange the items vertically. And when our screen size reaches to 640 pixels, our second media query will be activated, which will reduce the size of the heading text and paragraph text. We don't need to add the container class in 640 pixels media query. So I am going to remove this, because we have created a separate media query for that class. You can adjust the screen size to see how the layout adapts to different devices. I'm going to adjust the maximum width of this media query to 1000 pixels. So the content direction will change when the screen size is equals to or less than 1000 pixels. So friends, this is how we can make any section responsive by using media queries. No matter the content is in form of text or image. This method will work on all type of content. Under these two sections, we have a YouTube video embedded in our website. You can run this video here. All the YouTube default buttons are showing here. Let's learn how to embed a YouTube video in our website. Here we have an iframe with a width and height settings, and a video URL. After the video URL, you will see other options, but you don't need to change any of these options. And at the end, we have added an inline CSS code to increase the space from the top. You can increase or decrease this margin as per your needs. Let's increase the space from 50 pixels to 100 pixels, refresh the browser page to view the effects. You can see, the space between the sections has been increased. You can also change the width and the height of the iframe. For example, I want to reduce the size of the iframe, so I have changed the width and height values. Let's refresh the page. And you will notice that the size of the iframe has been changed. Now, let's learn how to get the embed code of any video to place in our website. Go to the YouTube website, and open the video you want to embed. Under the video, you can find a share button. Click on that button. A pop-up window with many sharing options will appear like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter. Here you can find an embed button. When you click on this button, a pop-up with the embed code will appear. Copy the embed code and paste it in your code editor. Refresh the browser to view the new embedded video thumbnail. Our new video has been embedded successfully. But there is no space between the upper section and the video. We can add space by using margin top inline CSS code. And set the margin as per your needs. Refresh the browser to apply the changes. You can see, space has been added between the top section and the video. You can also adjust the height and width of the video as per your needs. Make sure you are keeping 16:9 aspect ratio while increasing or decreasing the size of iframe for better video results. Let's check whether our iframe is responsive. If we resize the browser window, the iframe is not changing its size as per window size. This means our iframe is not responsive. And we have learned earlier that if you want to make any section responsive, then put the values of height and width in percentage instead of pixels. Let's set the width of the iframe to 80% and height 80%. Let's check the result by refreshing the browser. Perfect, our iframe is now responsive. After the YouTube video section, we have another section in which we have 3 cards, each representing a different type of exercise. We have a PNG image in each card with a heading and a paragraph text. All the 3 cards are showing in a single row. So, let's break down the code and see how these cards are created. First, we have created a div element. This element defines a division or section in an HTML document. We have assigned inline style attribute to this div element, which align the text to center and adds a top margin of 50 pixels to the division. You can see we have a centered heading. This is because we have assigned text align center attribute to this heading. And you can notice space between the upper section and the heading text. This is the result of top margin attribute. Inside this div element, we have a heading element, used to define the most important heading on a page. In this case, it displays the text 3 types of running. After the heading div, we have placed a container. In this container we have placed 3 cards. You can see each card in this container showing separately. Each card contains a PNG image on top. We have an image with the name of walking.png. This image is placed in static directory. So we need to mention the directory name and image name in image source. Under the image, we have a heading text. We have used h2 tag to place a heading. In HTML, you can use 6 types of heading tags. H1 is the largest heading, then H2, H3 to H6. You can use as per your needs. After the heading text, we have used p-element to place a paragraph text. Paragraph text is used to place normal text in the website. Just like first card, we have placed 2 other cards in this container. Each card contains a separate PNG image, a heading text and a paragraph text. You can see 3 cards with separate PNG image, text and paragraph text. In style.css file, we have assigned some attributes to the container class. First attribute is display flex. Flex is a CSS property that establishes a flexible layout for a container element. This means that items inside this container will be arranged and aligned according to the Flexbox model. Flexbox is well suited for creating responsive designs that adapt to different screen sizes. The second attribute is justify content, space between. This is a CSS property used within a Flex container to distribute space between its elements equally. It ensures that the space between each pair of adjacent items is equal. There's no extra space before the first item or after the last item. After the container class, we have assigned some attribute to class named card. Flex 1. This property is crucial when the card element is a child of a Flex container. It tells the element to grow to fill the available space within its parent container while maintaining its aspect ratio. In simpler terms, it makes the card expand to occupy all available space without shrinking or stretching. Padding 20px adds 20 pixels of space around the content of the card. This creates a margin between the card's border and its inner content. You can increase or decrease this margin as per your needs. For example, we need to increase the space, so let's change the value to 50px. You can see the space between the border and the content of the card has been increased. If I increase the margin value to 100px, the gap between the card and inner content has been increased. I am changing back the original space because this is fair space. You can also apply inline CSS to the different elements like heading text or paragraph text. For example, we want to change the size of the heading text. We can use font size style to change the font size. Let's assign the value of 1em to the heading. And to change the color of fonts, we use color attribute and select the blue color for our heading text. Let's refresh the page and see the effects. You can see the heading color has been changed, but the size of the heading is small. So I am going to increase the font size to 2em. Now it's looking same size like other headings. Next, we will change the paragraph text color. So we will apply the color attribute to the paragraph text. Also, we need to change the background color of the paragraph. We can use background color property to change the background text of the paragraph. Let's see the changes. You can see the text and background color has been changed, but these are not the suitable colors for our background. So we need to change the background color to light red. Now you can see our background and font color has been changed. Same like this, you can change the color and font size of each card item. At the end, let's check the responsiveness of this section. When we decrease the size of the browser, you can notice that the alignment of the card has been changed automatically from horizontal to vertical. And as we decrease the size of the window, the size of the card items decreased. This is because we have used Flex Container, which is used to adjust the size as per the device. Under this section, we have a footer bar. Footer bar is often used for copyright notices, privacy policies, terms of service, or contact details. You can offer additional navigation options or contact details for convenience. Let's learn how to create a footer bar that can be used on every page. In Templates directory, we have created a HTML file with the name of footer.html. We have used footer tag to create a footer. The footer tag is specifically designed to define the footer section of a web page. Using footer clearly indicates the footer section of your page, improving code readability and maintainability. After the footer tag, we have assigned the footer class, so that we can assign CSS attributes to this footer section. We have assigned CSS style to this footer section, like text align, background color, text size, and text color. After this we have used paragraph tag to write the text. And copy sign is short code to write the copyright sign. And after this we have written the copyright details. Now, let's learn how to insert the footer section at the end of every page. To ensure proper structure and maintainability, we'll enclose our footer content within footer tags. Using these semantic HTML tags clearly defines the footer section, making it easier to identify and manage later. Adhering to standard HTML practices enhances code readability and organization, simplifying future edits and updates. Inside the footer tag, we have included our footer.html file, which exists in our template directory. You have to include this footer at the end of every page to show the footer section in every page. You can see our footer bar is showing at the end of every page. This is because we have included the footer bar at the end of every page. Creating separate HTML files for elements like navigation bars and footers offers significant efficiency and maintainability benefits. By isolating these components, you can make changes in a single location and have those updates reflected across all pages that incorporate them. For instance, adding a new line to your footer file will automatically update that section on every page, eliminating the need for repetitive modifications. This streamlined approach saves time and reduces the potential for errors. So friends, we've learned how to make different parts of our homepage like navigation bar, hero image, text and image sections, YouTube video, and other sections. Now we have some other pages. Let's see these pages one by one. First, we have About Us page. An About Us page is like telling people who you are. It's a special part of your website where you can share your company's name, or what you do, what your company makes or sells. People like to know who they're dealing with, so this page helps them understand you better. So let's learn how can we create this type of informative page. On the top of the page, we have loaded our static directory, so that we can use stuff like images or CSS files on this page. In the head section, we have linked our style.css and bootstrap files. In title tag, we have given the title of this page. This title will be shown on top of the browser window. You can see title related to the page is showing on top. This is because we have given the page title and title tags on every page. After the title tag, we have body tag. Inside the body tag, we can create our page content which will be shown to the visitor of the website. We have assigned background color attribute to this body tag. You can change the color as per your choice. Let's change this color to little dark color. You can see, the color of the page has been changed. After this, we have included the navigation.html file to show the navigation bar on top of page. You can see navigation bar is showing on top. After the navigation bar, we have placed a main tag. In this main tag, we will place our content of this page. And assign the About Us container class to assign CSS attributes to this section. In this main tag, we have placed a heading by using h1 tag. And use the text align property to center this heading. You can see our heading is placed in the center of the page. We can also assign a color attribute to change the color of this heading text. For example, I want to change the color to white. You can see, the color of the heading text has been changed. After this heading, we have About Us content, in which we can tell the visitor about our company, our services, and any other information. Currently, we have used h2 tag, which font size is smaller than h1 tag. We have used margin left and margin right attributes to give the margin to this text from both left and right side. You can see there is a margin from both side. After the margin attribute, we have assigned background color attribute to this section. You can set any color as per your choice. After this, we have our About Us text. You can change the text tag from h2 to h4. If you want smaller text, you can see, the text size has been changed. And you can change this text to paragraph text. And you can set the font size by applying the font size attribute. After the About Us content, we have included our footer.html file to show the footer at the end of this page. You can notice we have assigned the absolute position style to this footer. This is because, the text on our About Us page is not covering entire area of page. So if we place the footer bar in normal flow, then the footer bar will be shown in center of the page right after the About Us text box. But we need to show this footer bar at the end. So we have used absolute position with bottom 0 and left 0 attributes. By using absolute position, our footer bar will not be shown in normal flow, instead it will shown at the end of the page. We have also assigned the width to 100%. So that it covers the entire width of the page. After the About Us page, we have our services page. On this page we can introduce our services to the visitors. Same like About Us page, there is a heading and text content. And a footer bar at the end. We have assigned h3 tag to the text, but this text size is looking very large, so I am going to change it from h3 to paragraph text. You can see our footer bar changed its position when the text box size decreased. This is because we have not applied the absolute position style to this footer bar. So I am going to apply the position absolute, margin 0, and left 0 attribute to this footer section. And you can see the footer bar has been moved to the end of the screen. We also need to assign the 100% width to the section. Just like the About Us page, you can change the background color, or font size as per your needs. After the Services page, we have Contact Us page, where we have placed a Contact Us form. After filling this form, when the user clicks on the Submit button, the user will be navigated to the Success page, where he will display a success message. So let's learn how to create this page. On the top, we have loaded the static directory and given the title to this page. After the title, we have linked the style.css and bootstrap files. In the body section, we have included the navigation bar and placed a main container to place the form inside it. In this main container, we have placed a heading by using h1 tag. Form method equals post. This line starts a form. The method equals post part tells the computer to send the form data using a post method. CSRF_token is a special Django code to protect your website from hackers. Don't worry about understanding this too much for now. Div class equals form group. This part starts a section for each form item. Label tag shows the label first name on the page. Input tag creates a box where the user can type their first name. The required part means the user must fill this out. Similar parts for last name, email, and message, these parts are the same as the first name part. Button type equals submit. This creates a button that, when clicked, sends the form data. In urls.py file, we have registered the success page in URL patterns. When the user fill out the form, his computer asks the website for a special page called success. The website looks at its rules, in urls.py, to find what to do. It finds a rule that says, if someone wants the success page, use the success method, which is defined in view.py file. URL pattern will call the success method from the views.py file. In views.py file, we have defined a method with the name of contact. In this method, we have added an if condition. When request method is post, then it will be redirected to the success method. Otherwise it will be redirected to the Contact Us page. Below this method, we have another method with the name of success. This method will be called when submit button will be clicked. This method will call the success.html page from templates directory. So friends, this is how we can add a Contact Us form in our website, so that user can contact with us by simply filling out this form. Currently, this form is not linked with any database or email delivery system. We will learn this later.